Alright, we're going to try this problem where it says, given a bunch of information, can you draw the function? I'm going to do a very rough sketch. I prefer if normally you draw a really good graph, but I don't own graph paper. So we're going to try just showing its key properties. Alright, local max at f -6 and it equals 7. That means when you go out -6 and go up to 7, there should be a local max here. So I need it to peak out here. So I draw a little peak in like that. Also at x equals +6 and somewhere around 3, somewhere exactly at 3, I need another max. So I need a peak out there. So I draw my little peaks. Then it tells me local min at x equals 3. So at x equals 3, I need some sort of min. Doesn't matter where I put it. I could put it here, but it might be hard to get over there. I'm going to put my min down here. But I might need to change that looking at the next stuff. So I got my maxes, my min. What's next? The function has to be greater than or equal to 0, so above the x-axis when x is less than or equal to -3. So here, at this point, I'm crossing over because it says above the x-axis to here, and it's got to be above the x-axis at 4. Okay, so I'm good here because it doesn't have to come back up. It says till 4, and between 4 and 8, I'm getting that from here. Between 4 and 8, it's above. So that means this is going to go like this, come up, and come down to 8. Probably I'm going to come through here. Let me check the rest. I've got all the pieces now. I got my local maxes, my local min, my above the x-axis, and I got to make sure I go to this 3. I check it faintly. I'll just leave it there until I'm sure. X is an element of R. That's no problem. I'm going to put arrows. And then it says the range is the set of y is such that y has to stay bigger than -5. Okay, so I just need to make sure. So I got one problem here. My min looks like it didn't go low enough. -5 is probably somewhere down around here. So I'm just going to take this piece and drop it down a bit lower so that it bottoms out at -5. Bring it back around for that line. Come back through -3. Come back up. And then continue my arrows down. Make sure both arrows are pointing down because... oh, that's no good. I'm sorry. I can't have both arrows pointing down because x is supposed to be greater than -5. It's going to go past -5. That's no good. I'm going to need my arrows to come pointing back up so that it looks like my graph goes up forever but doesn't come down. Because y can be any element of R, but it can never go below this -5. Okay, so I had to have a max here. Right, this was part of my local max at -6, 7. But now I can bring this graph back around and up, or I could make it flat going left forever. And now I have, let's check this thing. I have f -6 equals 7, so there's a local max. Yep. F at 6, 3, another local max. Check. Local min at x equals 3. And then it goes down to -5, and I chose -5 because of the range, but we'll come to that in a second. It's above the x-axis when you're at x is less than -3. Oh, another reason this arrow can't go down, it has to stay above the x-axis when you're less than or equal to -3. And it has to stay above the x-axis between 4 and 8. So this probably shouldn't come back up because it might cross over the x-axis later. So I'm just going to make it go straight out. And that way, oh, need to rewrite this x here. That way it's never going to dip back down, violating the range, and it's never going to come back up, violating this restriction. It should only be above the x-axis between 4 and 8. X goes left and right forever. X is an element of R. Yep, that's going to go left and right forever. And Y is an element of R. Yeah, this goes up forever, catching all the Y's for infinity as it goes up. But otherwise, Y has to be above -5, which it is, never goes below this line. So I've got it, a function that fits all the criteria.